Oh, dang. So this weekend, got a special 2-day race for you. The Rowdy Dawg race in Pandapas Pond out in Blacksburg, Virginia. I did a video on this race last year where I did the double XC race, basically a cross-country marathon race. This year, I'm doing that race again, but on Saturday, the XC race is on Sunday. On Saturday, they do an Enduro race. I'm gonna do this as a test for myself and my bike, the Trek Fuel 9.8. Have the two different setups for it, so with some parts, a fork and wheels and tires and everything. Then I'm gonna swap everything over for the XC race on Sunday. So we're gonna see how the bike handles these two different disciplines. We're gonna jump into it and see how we get along. Heading up the first climb to the first stage. Whew. So much for the not getting sweaty part.
I'm going to be very slow, so you've been warned about that.
All right. Good, buddy. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Wow, that's rocky. There's nothing fast line. Feel like I'm crawling. It's so loose. Pretty pedally. Still pedaling. Oh my goodness. Trout. Alan. 21. Cross. Ow.
Twice a week.
That's pedaling.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is a pedally bugger.
Ugh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Who's up? Who wants it next?
3, 2, 1.
All right, well, got off to a great start there. Holy cow. We stuck around for a few minutes to see the results, and then I went on to find my campsite. Alright, so swapping bike to cross-country mode, and this is what I'm working with. It's 8 o'clock at night, parked on the side of a gravel road, bike in a work stand, and it's about 45 degrees outside. Am I an idiot? Yes. Does it work? Probably. Good morning, everybody. I am camped out the gravel road that's up here. Camped in my car. You can see MTB cribs. Basically just threw a foam mattress topper in the back here. Waiting on my water to boil. Get my coffee and oatmeal going here. Gonna head over to the parking lot where the race starts. Did manage to get the bike all fixed up last night with the work stand in the dark. So I'm officially a pro mechanic because I can change a fork and wheels in the dark. I think that's the qualifications. Bike mechanic school final exam. I think my water is about boiling here. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, just kidding. I actually slept pretty good in this thing last night. Got a little chilly towards the wee hours of the morning. Alright, I'm gonna finish up here, fix my breakfast and my coffee, and head to the race. Alright, just rolled out, started the first lap. Legs feel good after the Enduro yesterday, so we think we're off to a good start. And this is literally the first time I've done this race where it wasn't raining or had rained the day before. So the trails are gonna be all new, dry. 15-minute window to start today, chip timed. I think I'm pretty much the last one to start. So hopefully I can pass some people, but it means I gotta make up to 15 minutes on the people at the front if they started right at 8. Which I don't know why anybody would. I mean, who actually gets to races early and stuff? But I gotta tell myself I'm not playing catch up. And that's kind of what it feels like. I gotta reel it in a little bit. Gosh, I gotta get this thing to quit squeaking. Freaking annoying. One more thing I forgot to do. Clutch on. Whew. Let's hope the bike holds together since I put most of it together in the dark last night. Finally got my warm-up in. Feeling a little more on top of things now. My freaking number plate would quit sounding like a turkey call. Just caught my first carrot back there. One down and probably, I don't know, 20 more to go. see the trail. Out on the gravel road, there, where I camped last night. Woo. Skipping the aid station this year on the first time. I think I'll have to hit it on the second trip just to refill my water bottle. Oh gosh. Brought the hydration pack, so that'll get me through the first lap and a half with the bottle, and then fill up the bottle for the last half of the second lap. Yeah, there we go. Mats. Yee. Alright, finally. Carrot number 2. Appreciate it. How going there? Heading into the main trail of Snake Route. So Snake Route is a pretty long and challenging climb, so I'm not going to show the whole thing, but just going to sum it up here with the individual little technical bits that are scattered throughout it, and maybe keep a tally of how many I make and how many I don't. Oh, come on. I don't even know. Oh, come on. Go ahead, I'll get by you on the gravel. Gravel road after Snake Route. About to drop into the, I guess it's horse nettle downhill. I tend to miss this turn. There it is. Oh, come on. Woo. Yep. All right. Oh, tree. Yeah. Whew. I need to shorten my bars. I hit way too many trees. This thing is running smooth today. Hey, hey. Started the second lap now. Then I got the single XC people in front of me. Are y'all single or double?
Double.
Double. Nice. Double. Cool, cool. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
A lot of these lines are so much different in the dry versus the wet, because the rocks are kind of almost your friend when they're dry. All right, back on the gravel road for lap 2. Still feel pretty good. Legs are definitely starting to feel it. One more big climb. Just finished up Snake Route again. Now I'm on the gravel. About to head down the last descent. Started cramping a little bit on Snake Route, so hopefully nothing decides to lock up while I'm going downhill here. All right, let's try to not miss the turn this time. Here we go. I think I'm already past my 4-hour mark, so just gonna see what we can do here. Oh, get around there. All right, instead of going left up here to do another lap, we'll go right. Go down the first little climb, back to the parking lot. Oh, dang. Oh, and my leg is freaking cramped. Come on, I can't bend it. So I'm just going to talk over this a little bit because my right leg was completely locked up from a cramp, and this was basically a bunch of yelling and swearing and unconfirmed reports of mild crying. Oh gosh, oh come on, I just gotta make it to the car. Leaves out of my stuff. Good grief. What a freaking crazy thing that was. Oh, goodness. All right, come on, leg. Just need to make it a little further.
Yeah, I'm finished.
There we go. All right, that's a wrap on the Rowdy Dawg XXC. I'll do a proper recap at home when I can think straight, but right now I'm gonna go get some food, see if I can sit down without my legs locking up again. Race weekend is over. I've got the bike all cleaned up and everything, and it is back in the Enduro setup at this point, because that's how I'm gonna ride it for the rest of the year. I don't think there's any more cross-country mountain bike races. Results, first of all, for the Enduro, I ended up 18th overall out of like 50 or so, 40 to 50 people. Considering I'd never ridden any of the trails that were in the Enduro, I will consider that pretty decent. Like I said, it was set up as 150 millimeters in the front, 130 in the rear. Handled everything there pretty much fine. Like I said, those trails weren't exactly anything super rowdy. Oof, nothing you would really need a official Enduro bike for. Cross country race, I got 6th overall out of that, out of maybe 15 or so people. It was about 15 minutes slower than my time yesterday, but considering the Enduro race was about a 4-hour ride the day before. You know, obviously that's gonna affect a little bit, even though I didn't really feel it to begin with, but I did start cramping there towards the end. But overall, the bike definitely handled everything all right. So if you're looking to get a one bike that does everything, you know, fairly well, would say this is a good route to go. Like I said, for the cross-country setup, I had switched over to the Fox 34 fork, a little bit smaller stanchion, lighter weight package overall. I think you knock about almost a pound off the bike by itself just by going from the 36 to the 34 fork. So significant there. And this one is set up in the stock length of 140 millimeters. And the 36 I have set up as 150 millimeters. For the cross-country setup was just the wheel and tire combination. These are the Bontrager Line 30s. They're carbon wheels. That's the wheels that come with the bike. And I've got Vittoria, Martello, and Mazza. Not sure if I'm pronouncing those correctly. For the rear and the front. It's a 2.35 rear, 2.4 front. So even there, it's not the biggest or most aggressive, you know, enduro downhill tires or whatnot, but they do have some pretty meaty knobs on both of those. For the XC setup, I have a Industry 9 Trail 270. So these are 27 millimeters internal width. The Line 30s are 30 millimeters, so a little bit wider profile there. So these are aluminum wheels, and the tires I was using were an Aspen, Maxxis Aspen in the rear, 2.25, and then on the front wheel it's a Maxxis Forecaster 2.35, I believe it is. So, and you can see the tread pattern there is way more low profile on these, much lighter overall tire and wheel combination. So like I said, set up Enduro mode, it's like 30 pounds, 9 ounces or somewhere around that. And then switching everything to cross-country mode, it's about 27 flat, or maybe even just a few ounces less than that. Other than that, I'm gonna say solid bike. I guess this would be my 1 year of owning the bike, so this would be like a full-on review at this point. Race stuff went good. All right, hope you enjoyed this slightly longer video, but if you have any questions about the bike or the race or what I ate for dinner last night, drop it in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one.